so we can see too far. Like, for example, do you see a boat out here?
No, I do not.
No. But as I zoom in and increase the angular size, a boat shows up, right? Right. And so perspective, things get smaller. Now, as I zoom out, we know that this thing is in view, a straight line from me. And as I zoom out, it starts to disappear from the bottom up. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The little waves in the foreground block it. Like my finger cannot block my chin to my nose unless it's closer to you. And then it could block the whole bottom of my face, right? So this is just showing that things disappear because of angular resolution, right? Here's another example. Right here, we got a camera level at the top of the table. And as we zoom in, increasing the angular size, all of a sudden you can see this, we'll call it a boat. We can see it. And as I zoom out, its angular size, the reflection from the table, the miraging, make it disappear. But if I lift up, I can now see farther than that thing, right? So people go, well, on a ball, if you go up higher, you can see farther over the ball. Same thing on a flat earth. If I stack 3 more boats on top of that, when I'm zoomed out, you'd see the top 3, but you wouldn't see the bottom one. If I dragged it farther away, next one would disappear. It disappears from the bottom up. These are things that they don't teach you about your eyes in school. So 2 times a year, the sun gets right in line with Mount Canigou and it backlights it. And right here, the top of Mount Canigou should be a mile below the curve, but it's not. It's right there. We can see too far. Our consumer day optics have blown away their nonsense. And the only answer that you can say is this is a refracted image. Well, how's a refracted image blocking the actual sun? It's right there. It's clear. We see in straight lines. Things get too small to see, but when you zoom in on them, they come back into view.
Interesting. I don't necessarily have an explanation for that. I understand the concept of a mirage. I do not scientifically know how to disprove this yourself right
so
there.
Let's talk about
I do have a question though, all the way across, because in theory, if it's flat, I should be able to see across, because if I look up in the sky light, there's nothing obstructing my way. I'm able to shoot, or I'm able to get the light from up in the sky directly straight into my eyes with no obstruction from millions of miles away. How come I cannot see an object from, say, 300 miles away if it's not obstructed?
I'm going to explain that very easily. And your comment that they're millions of miles away, that's something that scientism has told you. You don't know that these lights that you're seeing in the sky are millions of miles away. And I could actually prove that they're not. I can't prove how far they are. Yeah. I can't prove how big they are, but I can prove they're not what you're seeing. Well, so we'll touch things like this boat. You can't see the deck, the back deck. It looks like it's underwater, right? And if that boat was all the way out here behind this little wave right here, half the boat would be missing. Because the boat would be smaller. This wave might not be all the way at the horizon. And then a glober would say, oh, it's because it's behind a curve. No, it's just behind a wave. It's just behind, we're losing its angular size.
Interesting. That's an interesting fact I did not know. And it does explain why you may not be able to see something if it's above the horizon or above in my perspective, the curvature of the earth. But I do want to kind of switch gears and go back to the sun. I know we were going to talk about that a bit.
Prove the earth is flat, not that it's a globe. Because you know that during our summer in the north, is the sun closer to the earth in the heliocentric model, or is it farther from the earth during our summer?
During our summer, is it closer or is it farther away?
Right. It's one of those according to the heliocentric model.
I'm not 100% what the answer would be to that, but I know the position because of the tilt of the earth. It would appear to be shining more directly towards during the summertime, it's pointing more directly towards the northern hemisphere due to the tilt of Earth.
Good. Well, good that you know that false belief, but now use your mind, right? They don't want you to use your mind. The sun